We're really excited to be launching the health program today. It's going to be an ongoing program with lots of workshops and talks and different things going on. Every month or so we'll have different things that you can get involved in, and today's the kickoff. And to start with today, we have a talk with Sharon. So Sharon is qualified in Alexander Technique, has been for 12 years, and she's here to talk to us today about posture and how we can avoid neck and back pain. We're spending a lot of time at our desks, so she's going to talk about how we can try to reduce that through the way that we're sitting and holding ourselves when we're at work, and outside of work too, and how that can also relate to stress and ways in which we can help feel a little calmer when we're here at work. After the talk, we'll then share a little bit more about what's happening today, and hopefully everyone can get involved in that straight after the talk.
All right, thank you everyone. I'm so happy to be here. And I'm talking about healthy, pain-free posture. That is so boring. However, with the amount of money that's being spent on pain medications, which is in the hundreds of billions of dollars, which is equivalent to about $2,000 per U.S. citizen, and with the treatment of back pain with surgery being inconclusive in its effectiveness, it's really time to do something different. You're going to find out today that businesses are also losing billions of dollars due to pain and stress, and we're spending more time sitting than we are sleeping. We're also spending more time looking at our devices rather than looking at each other. So today I'm hopefully going to scare you to death about your posture. That's really my intention today. I want to shake you up and have you think differently about your own bodies. It's the only body you're ever going to get. You cannot get a body transplant. So we're going to talk about taking care of your body while taking care of business. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I'm here today. Then we're going to look at the impact of sitting poorly on your body and your job. From there, we're going to talk about how you're sitting at your desk is really very painful. And then finally, what is healthy, pain-free posture? How do you sit, stand, move, walk, speak, go out to dinner, go on a date without hurting yourself? And preventing pain, strain, and injury. And then finally, what are the benefits? What do you get out of caring about your body? So I am a certified Alexander Technique teacher and Art of Breathing instructor. And I have had clients on True Blood, Dancing with the Stars, Disney, and a whole other range of TV shows and movies. I work with a lot of performers. And the man who developed the Alexander Technique was a Shakespearean orator, and he chronically lost his voice. So that's how he developed this technique. Some performers, some Oscar winners who have also taken Alexander Technique are Juliette Binoche and Hilary Swank, Hugh Jackman, Paul McCartney, tons of people who you know have taken the Alexander Technique, not only to improve their posture, but also to feel really confident and powerful on any stage. Now really, in some ways, we're all on a stage. We could think of our lives that way. And you're either collapsing and diminishing your vitality and hurting yourself, or you're taking up space. You're breathable, you're open, you're confident, and pain-free. Something a little bit about myself. I am an avid salsa dancer. So if any of you love salsa dancing, come see me. I am also a speaker. I have spoken at Meet the Media. I've also spoken at a pharmaceutical company for management teams and many other venues. And let's go here. So, does this look familiar to you at all? And in fact, Jasmine was telling me when she was going through my slides that she was sitting like this guy here. So who here ever finds themselves sitting like this? I got a few honest people in the audience. Let's look at what this is actually doing to you. There's a new phrase. Has anyone heard this phrase, sitting is the new smoking? Yeah. Sitting is the new smoking because sitting is killing you. And in fact, I told you I wanted to shake you up today. That's my job. So people are sitting for 9.3 hours on average. And I'm guessing, and I was even told that Thursday night, many of you probably won't sleep. You're sitting more than you're sleeping. And this is so bad for you. And a lot of people say, well, I exercise. I get movement in my day. But it's not exercising that's the problem. It's the actual sitting itself that is hurting your body. So how is sitting wrecking your body? People with sitting job have twice the rate of cardiovascular disease. People who sit for work, you can read there, the electrical activity cuts off to your legs. Also, you burn 1 calorie per minute when you're sitting. Your enzymes that break down fat drop 90%. Your good cholesterol drops 20%. Your insulin effectiveness drops 24%. Does anyone feel a little nauseous right now? I hope so. I hope you feel a little bit nauseous right now. These are the hard, cold facts of what's going on. So now, if sitting is doing this to your body, what is sitting doing to your stress levels? If sitting is increasing your rate of cardiovascular disease and also reducing your insulin effectiveness, it's got to be impacting your stress levels. Oh, first, back pain. So here's some numbers on what back pain is doing to businesses. Not only is how you're sitting impacting your internal organs, it's also increasing the number of back pain. So back pain is a leading cause of long-term sickness in the UK. You don't have to raise your hand right now, but have you missed work due to back pain? Answer that, yeah. Or someone was, yeah, me. It might be how you're sitting. It might be how you're standing. It might be how you're driving. And then pain costs $294 billion annually in lost work days, medical expenses, and other benefit costs. I'm just going to read this next one. Lost productive time from common pain conditions among active U.S. workers costs an estimated $61.2 billion annually. That's a lot of money. Where could that money go? And then finally, if sitting poorly is lowering your insulin effectiveness, it's increasing your rate of cardiovascular disease, it's hurting your back, it's also increasing your stress levels. And it's a two-way street here. Stress is also hurting you. People on this bottom picture here, people with higher levels of stress, 26% of people with higher levels of stress have back pain over the 12% of normal adult population. So sitting is hurting you. Sitting too much is hurting you, and it's stressing you out. Okay. So what's happening when you're sitting for long periods of time? Everyone, don't change anything about how you're sitting, but just check in with your body. Notice your body. You have what's called a kinesthetic sense. So you have the sense of sight, the sense of hearing, the sense of taste. You also have what's called your kinesthetic sense. And your kinesthetic sense tells you where you are in space and what position you're in. However, when you sit in one position for hours at a time, your kinesthetic sense calibrates to that position and starts to tell you, yeah, this is right. This is good. This is comfortable. My job today is to not make you comfortable. It's really to make you uncomfortable. So when you're sitting slouched at the computer or slouched over your phone, your head is forward of your spine. How much does your head weigh? I heard 10 pounds. It's around 10 pounds, 10 to 12 pounds. So if your head is forward of your, A plus right there. If your head is forward of your spine, your neck muscles, your shoulder muscles, your chest muscles must clench in order to support that weight. Also, you're probably clenching your jaw. Has anyone noticed when you've had like a long day of work that your jaw is clenched? This is also from posture. And then people try to go, just stretch it out. But if your head is forward and your spine is compressed, you won't be able to release the jaw. And then this middle one I think is the most important. Your chest and your lungs are compressed. So everyone, if you're in a little bit of a slouch right now, slouch a little bit more. Go ahead and slouch a little bit more. Go a little bit deeper into it. And notice what happens to your breathing. The weight of your head, that 10 pounds is now pushing down on your sternum. It's pushing down on your ribs. It's pushing down on your diaphragm. It's difficult to breathe, and you might even be holding your breath. So you come on out of that exaggerated slouch now. Also, your low back muscles are overworked and overstretched. This picture isn't even correct because it has the pelvis in an upright position. Most of you, when you're slouching, most everybody when they're slouching, their hips are collapsed. I'm going to show you. It looks like this. Sort of the common hipster pose. Like, yeah, I'm relaxed, I'm cool, but there's no support through the body. All right. So there's a video on YouTube, and I'm going to show you a very short clip of it. It's called Bone Deep Strength. And in this slide here, you can see the difference between the internal organs when someone is supported and sitting with their bone deep strength with their skeleton. And the picture on the right is a picture of someone who's collapsed. So what is happening on the inside? If you're sitting for 9.3 hours a day, your head is forward of your spine, your 10-pound weight is pushing down on your sternum, pushing down on your lungs, pushing down on your diaphragm. What's happening to your blood flow, your breathing, your digestion, your elimination? So now I'll go to the next video, and I think this should start it. There we go. So here we're watching what happens to your organs during a slouch. So there's decreased blood flow, decreased breathing, decreased digestion. Did you see that squish of all of your internal organs? All right. Does this look familiar to anybody? So in this part of the slide here, it says, if the parts of your car were so out of alignment, so out of whack, you wouldn't be surprised if your car broke down. And it's the same thing with our own bodies. So when we're standing out of alignment, sitting out of alignment, our body is going to be out of whack. Okay? So I love this next slide. It was really quite funny. A moment ago, I was sitting here, and many of you were on your phones, and I was like, oh, that slide. So in the first picture here, that's someone with their head right up on top of their spine. And then at that point, the head actually weighs 10 to 12 pounds. But the further and further and further forward that your head goes of your spine, there's more equivalent weight on your spine and on your skeleton. And then finally, in this picture all the way to the right, when your head is 60 degrees forward of the rest of your spine, that's equivalent to 60 pounds of weight on your neck. Anybody ever have any neck soreness or neck pain? How do you text? How do you text? So when this happens, your neck muscles tighten, you tighten your lower back, you compress your chest, your lungs, you collapse your hips, you lock your knees, you stiffen your legs, you look and feel more stressed. And I've actually worked with people who are like, well, what am I going to do? Text like this? And I'll say, yeah, you can buy a new phone. You can't buy a new spine. And plus, if you wanted to have surgery on your spine, we know that doesn't really work very conclusively. Okay, so the solution, no pain, tons of gain. Most people think if they said, oh, God, my posture, I have to sit well. Go ahead, everyone sit in what you think is good posture. What's so funny is everyone always looks like they're putting something up their... Yeah, when they sit well. That is not good posture. Did you hold your breath to sit up? Okay. I'm going to move this sticker here. If you have to hold your breath, it is not the solution. And we're going to talk about this in a little bit. If you have to hold your breath, you do not have good posture. And in fact, most people, when they think of good posture, think of what? What's the main idea you think when you think of posture? What's the first 2 words or 3 words that come out of your brain when you think of good posture? What's that? Yeah, sit up straight. Sit up straight. Well, in fact, there's nothing straight about your spine. Your spine has 4 amazing curves. So if you think, oh man, I got to take care of my posture because I'm gonna get heart disease. If you can't breathe, that's definitely not a solution. So let's look at what the solution is. And just take this picture in a little bit. Take this picture in. This picture really shows you the support that your skeleton gives you. When you utilize your skeleton, when you're sitting on your hips, when you're allowing your spine to be long, when your head is up on top of your spine, you have skeletal support and you have bone deep strength. If anyone does work out, someone earlier was telling me that this is a very active group of people. If you work out and you're actually utilizing the strength of your bones, you're going to be much stronger. You're not going to hurt yourself when you work out, and you're going to have more energy because it's easier to breathe. So just take a couple notes here with your neck is long and released. Your head is on top of your spine. So military good posture is what? Go ahead and show military posture. Yeah, chin is up, back arches, chest raises. That's actually not good posture. How long do you think you could sit like that, Brittany? 3 minutes maybe, and that's for most of us. So military posture is not good posture. You might be able to sit like that for about 3 minutes, but then your muscles will fatigue, and then you'll go right, oh, God, this feels so much better. So that is not healthy, pain-free posture. In fact, I don't even like the word posture because of what it does to you. As soon as I say posture, a couple of the women that I spoke to earlier, they go, oh my God, I'm so bad. It's because we're thinking incorrectly about our posture. Oh, and the bottom one is most important. Your chest and your back, actually. Your chest and your back are wide and breathable. So here, your healthy posture equals free and easy breathing. Most people, when they think of posture, they stiffen, they hold their breath, they get exhausted, they drop down, and they're like, oh my God, I'm not breathing. Those 2 things are not healthy. They'll stress you out and they'll hurt you. So your breathing and your posture are 2 intimate functions. When you breathe well, you have good posture. When you have good posture, you breathe well. You're giving yourself space for breath. I love showing people this little video. So here you're looking at your diaphragm. And notice that the diaphragm isn't up high. The diaphragm is really down low. It's down low at the edge of your ribs. This video often makes people yawn because all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, I'm going to let my diaphragm move. And then you start to yawn and your body's like, oh my gosh, I'm finally breathing. So here's the side view, and you can watch the low ribs are swinging out and draping down and swinging out and draping down. So the movement of breath doesn't happen up high. That's what we call accessory breathing. So when you go, you're accessory breathing and you're stressing yourself out. Healthy, free breathing is down low, about the level of your midsection. This is looking at the diaphragm from below, and you can see how huge it is. And you can also see how much movement there is in the diaphragm and the ribs. All right. Okay. Oh, I know. First, before I move on to this next slide, I'm going to take everyone through a little bit of movement. And I'm going to have to put the mic down, but I have a really loud voice because I was a cheerleader in high school. So first I want everyone to take your hands right where you are like this. Okay? And you're probably going to bump each other in the front row. And I want you to do this movement. Doesn't have to be a big movement. So this is the movement of your ribs, your low ribs down here. So when breath is moving in, your ribs are swinging out. When breath is moving out, your ribs are draping down around your diaphragm. Your ribs swing out, your ribs swing down. Now I want you to make an arc with your forearms and your fingers. So here you're going to move down and up. It's a little bit like a parachute, really floating, really easy. So on down, this is the inhale, and on the up, this is your exhale. So your diaphragm moves down on the inhale and up on the exhale. It's a really light movement. You don't have to work very hard. And now let's take our ribs out like our hands out like this again, and your ribs swing out as breath moves in. They drop down as breath moves out. Let breath come in. And if you're laughing and giggling, that's wonderful, because when you laugh, you're actually getting rid of some old, stale breath from sitting for 9.3 hours a day. All right. Great. Thank you for humoring me on that. So what supports this free and easy movement of your ribs and your diaphragm? Your sexy, slinky, self-supporting spine. Have you ever thought of your spine as being slinky and sexy? That's right, good. That's how it's supposed to be. So your spine, when people say sit up straight, they don't know what they're talking about. Your spine is not straight. Your spine has 4 curves. Has 4 curves. Why would your spine have 4 curves? Shock absorbency. If you had a straight spine, every step you took would hurt. It would be like, ow, 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 ow. You have 4 curves in your spine because your spine is shock absorbent. So now I want you to, you're going to turn and look to the person to your right. And you're going to turn and look to the person to your left. Look to your right. Look to your left. Look to your right. Look to your left. Your spine is not straight. It spirals. Your spine spirals. Now you're going to look down at your shoes and look up to the ceiling and look down to your shoes and look up to the ceiling, look down to your shoes, unless this hurts, of course. Then don't do it. Your spine is a flexible structure, and it's self-supporting. Your spine flexes and bends and extends and goes through a back bend. So you don't want a straight spine. You want a sexy, slinky, curvy, self-supporting spine. So this one really does knock out the idea of having a straight spine. All right, great. So now we're in the solution. This is one of my clients who is an actor, writer, singer, musician. We're in LA, of course. And this is his power stance. So when you're standing, you'll notice that his chin isn't up, his chest isn't lifted, his low back isn't arched. He's not locking his legs. So there's length in the spine. You want your head to be up on top of your spine, but not by lifting and tightening your neck. There's a release. This is work. Your slouch is work, and coming up to your power stance is a release of effort. It's easier. It's more supportive. Your feet, ideally, are hips width distance. So if you stand with your feet crossed or you stand collapsed on one leg, you lose all of that bone deep strength. And then this last one here, there's a plumb line of support. So if you go back and watch that bone deep strength video, they talk about a plumb line where there's one line through the whole skeleton that holds you up when you're standing. Your bones hold you up. Your muscles move your bones. All right, so here. And this is Doug, one of my other clients. He's actually a debate coach who chronically lost his voice. And through releasing his pattern, when he first came to me, his head was really far forward. His ribs were compressed. He could barely talk because he couldn't breathe. So if you ever lose your voice, You want to look at how you're sitting, how you're standing. Are you giving yourself space for that movement to happen with your lungs and your diaphragm? Same thing, there's a plumb line through his skeleton, his feet are wide, his chest and his back are open. And this is another one of my clients who is a singer-songwriter. So of course I wrote Sitting Like a Rock Star. So when you're sitting, there's a theme going on here. Your head is up on top of your spine. Your neck muscles are relaxed. Your shoulders are down your back instead of dragging you forward. Your head is over your ribs are over your hips. There is a breathability, an openness to your body. Oh, and another thing that's really helpful here when you're sitting, if you sit just like in that power stance with your feet a little bit wider at hips width distance, it gives you more support for your skeleton. So just try that right now. Uncross your legs and put both feet down on the ground. That's already going to give you more support when you're sitting at your desk or sitting for many hours. And finally, your lungs and your diaphragm are free to breathe. So this takes us back to the slide with texting. So whether you're texting, whether you're reading a book, I don't know if anyone reads books anymore, if the head is forward, it's going to be difficult to breathe. It's going to be difficult to be comfortable in your own skin. So in this shift, you're just coming back to head over the ribs, ribs over the hips, and you're breathable. So put your hand right at your solar plexus. Your solar plexus is the upper abdominal wall. It's a plexus of nerves. And here, if you're slouching, the solar plexus is compressed, and so is your diaphragm, so are your lungs, so are your ribs. So this is an area here that is very involved with slouching. So in allowing the solar plexus to have some space, some mobility, it allows you to breathe with more ease. If you leave with anything today, this is the question I want you to leave with. Am I breathable? So different than the sit up straight idea. Ask yourself right now, am I breathable? All right. And what do you, a lung surgeon, a jazz guitarist, and a comedian, pictured here? This is Betsy. Betsy's a comedian here in LA, and she does the best chipmunk imitation you will ever see. She's hilarious. But just like all of us, lung surgeon, jazz guitarist, also my clients here, everyone stresses. When you stress, you clench your body, you collapse your spine, and you stop breathing. When you collapse your spine and stop breathing, your mood's going to go down, your energy's going to go down, you're going to hurt your body, and just overall, you're going to be less able to connect to other people. So I want you to consider a new idea, a new relationship with your own body. A relationship where you're listening to your body. You're paying attention to the sensations of neck tightening or difficult breathing, and make conscious choices, especially making conscious choices around being breathable. And here's one little strategy I want you to try. Okay, it's called a whispered ah. Very, very simple. Sounds like this. So simple. It's so simple, but when you do the whispered ah like this, and everybody I work with, if I have actors going on film auditions, if I have clients who are going to perform, I say start with this. You're letting breath, let's everyone do it together. Be silly, don't be cool. You're getting old air out of your lungs. You're moving your diaphragm, you're moving your ribs, and then the next breath comes in. The pressure inside your lungs, inside of your visceral organs decreases. You're moving now instead of being stuck and fixed. Right. So it would be really nice if we could just do yoga or dance or hike all day to get our work done. I would prefer to salsa dance all day and get my work done. The point of this really is that your body is more important than anything else, any other possession in your life. And you need to move it. It's important to get up and move. If you're not moving, you're putting yourself at risk for disease and pain and lower sense of vitality and well-being. So if I haven't convinced you enough, the People Operations at Google recommends Alexander technique for desk-bound back pain. And then finally, the American Journal of Pain Management, right up here, says spinal pain, headache, mood, blood pressure, pulse, and lung capacity are among the functions most easily influenced by posture. So these are things that you could easily improve just by caring for your body and thinking differently, giving yourself a little bit more ease, a little bit more space to breathe. And then finally, many symptoms, including pain, may be moderated or eliminated by improving posture. So I really hope that I have shaken you up a little bit and given you some easy, simple tools to prevent back pain, to take better care of yourself, to feel more alive, have more energy, and just have a better time at work. And finally, does this look familiar to you at all? So it's time to make friends with your chair and not use your chair as a means of hurting yourself and depleting your own energy. So I just asked you right now, think of one thing you can change today to take better care of your body. Thank you very much.
Anyone got questions for Sharon?
Yeah, in the back.
What can you say about the difference between nose breathing and mouth breathing?
Oh, that's a great question. Typically, nose breathing is better for you because when breath moves in through the nose, it cleans the air, it warms the air, and it slows your breath rate. When your breath rate is a little bit slower, your heart rate is a little bit slower. When your heart rate is slower, you're calmer, your nervous system calms, and you're more in a parasympathetic state rather than a sympathetic state. So parasympathetic, sympathetic. Parasympathetic is when you're calm, you're happy, you feel joy. Sympathetic is fight, flight, or freeze. So nose breathing is preferred. And then when demands are higher, like you're running or you're yelling across the room, then your body will know better. Your body will know to take the breath in through your mouth. So really trusting your body, but I would say prioritize nose breathing. Great. Any other questions? Yeah, in the back.
Is cracking your back actually bad for you?
What shape are you in when you crack your back? Yeah, so typically when I see people who are cracking their back, they're collapsed. And in that collapsed space, you're then torquing the spine. I would say twists are fantastic for your spine, and they're really great for the muscles of the back, but being here, feeling pain, and then going is probably pretty violent on your spine. So if you want to stretch, stand up, let a breath out so you're breathable first, and then just swing back and forth like this, because now you're actually letting the spine have length. You're allowing the spine to have support through the legs, and you're not torquing the spine violently. Great. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on standing desks?
So in the modality I teach, Alexander technique, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. So I'll see people at standing desks who are standing like this. So if you have a standing desk, you still want to utilize that power stance and make conscious choices. I saw this device. Actually, a client sent me a link to this device where it went around the back and then hooked onto the knees so that people could have better posture and prevent back pain. But what people do, as soon as you get accommodated to the new environment, whether it's a standing desk or this crazy medieval device, you're going to go back to your habit as soon as you get comfortable. So a standing desk going up and down, a little bit of sitting, a little bit of standing, a little bit of stretching, a little bit of work. Actually yawning and stretching. Yawning and stretching is so good for you. Everyone, do it right now. And reach up. So when you yawn and stretch, you're moving your spine out of the habitual computer slouch. You're extending the spine, opening the lungs, opening the ribs. Movement and conscious choice are more important, but definitely sitting all the time is not good. Thank you. Other questions? Yeah.
Are these yoga balls going to sit on at work?
Oh, so great. So, okay, the first thing I have to say is similar to the standing desk, that as soon as you get accommodated to any environmental choice you're making, it's going to be very easy to get back to habit. Jasmine asked me the same question. Now, if you're going to use these balls, or any chair for that matter, you want your hips higher than your knees. As soon as your knees are higher than your hips, it's going to drag you down. So you want your hips higher than your knees and a broad stance. So I always say to the ladies, all right, ladies, let's go cowboy style. You're not going to wear skirts on these balls. And then the bouncing is also sort of waking up that flexibility in the spine. Your spine is like a spring. Yeah, it would be a little hard to type from that place too. Thank you. Other questions? All right. So I just one more time want you to think right now, and I actually want you to turn to a person next to you. What's one change you can make today? And go ahead and tell them. Great. Excellent. All right, everybody. I hope I have scared the sit out of you. I just thought of that right now. It was such a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you for being here, and I'm going to hand this over to Jasmine.
Thank you. Sharon's going to be here for more questions after this. If you want to go and ask her something on your own, not in front of everyone, you can do that.
And I have articles here if you want to come pick them up.
Thank you so much. At 12:30, we're going to have a little event out here on the patio. So there's going to be free lunch. It's a healthy lunch. We've got healthy snacks and juices. Lots of vendors have come. Whole Foods are here with things to give away. We've got juice people here giving away free juices. There's also free massages for people who want to get a 10-minute massage. Before your lunch, you can do that. There's 2 masseuses out there ready to go at 12:30. And we've also got water bottles here as a giveaway gift for everyone to remind you to drink lots of water. So go grab one of those. Anything else? Oh, the fit desks. There's going to be fit desks out there, which Dave Dreyer's already said he's going to be on one of them. So there's 2. If you want to race him, you can. You want to get on there to send your recap. It's kind of set up so you can work from them, and we're just trialing them to see how they go. If people are into them and using them a lot, then that'd be great. And the balls, yeah. So we've got these fitness balls. They're available for anyone who wants to try them out. As Sharon was saying, I think it's a good thing to try out sitting on it for a little bit, going back to the chair, and going back and forth from the 2. So you're just mixing it up and kind of making your body uncomfortable, so you're thinking more about your posture. We have enough to share around in each of the departments. There's not enough for everyone, but you can share them around, and if we need more, we can get some more. But please come and grab one after if you'd like to try it out. And anything else? And yes, and thank you. We're going to be sending out a calendar of events soon. I said that at the start, but we're going to be having lots of different events and things going on. This is an ongoing program, and if you've got ideas, please send them over to us as well. And there's just a few people to thank now before we go. So a big, big thank you to Brittany. She's done a lot of the organization of the event today. And she's going to be the point person for the program ongoing for ideas and so on. Also, Aaron, where are you? Is he here? Not here. He's been here all day. Oh, there he is. Come on, we need to shame you. Not shame you. So Aaron did all the beautiful artwork, all the posters, the gifts that you saw and everything. And we just wanted to thank him for that because it was... Woo! Also, Jamie Choi and Colin Barton also were involved in the gift. Thank you. Katie Wakefield helped us with all the setup. Thank you, Katie. And Sarah Clark for all the recommendations on the vendors. Drew, Varela, Cameron, Starman, Lacey, Jenna, and Wendy from HR for helping us set up. Thank you very much. And Anna Harrow and Megan McCready for ordering the balls and these lovely water bottles. Thank you. We hope you enjoy it. Yeah.